and we're singing and we're coloring. Give me a high five.
What is going on, you guys? It's your boy Joe Castro, aka Philly Fresco, here with my brother from another big game, James, and it is another episode of Best of Enemies. This is a fun one. This is going to be a good one. The Eagles have a nice little challenge ahead of them. Obviously, the Cowboys take on a rival. It's going to be fun. We're going to see not just, obviously our teams, but we get to see how Carson Wentz kind of reacts to a terrible game. We get to see maybe the Eagles playing maybe their first real challenge. The Jaguars are sneakily good, top 10 in a lot of categories. But James, how you feeling? How excited? It's always exciting for another Sunday.
Man, it's always exciting for another Sunday, man. We're here. Shout out to everybody jump in the building from your side, from my side. We're starting to get into the little bit of crust of things. It's the first four, and then it's the next four. You know what I mean? So we're almost at that first four. So it's kind of exciting, and I think it's exciting because maybe the Cowboys fans didn't think we were going to be went down after week one. You know what I'm saying? Here at 2-1, even though we're not going to sit there and say the New York Giants was a good team. We already said that. But hey, Cincinnati Bengals, they weren't the team we were last year, but they were. They did go to the Super Bowl. They still are the formidable team. Dallas ended up on a 2-game win streak. We're hoping the Cowboys can go to 3. And I know you guys are trying to be one of the few remaining teams in the NFL.
The only. If we go 4-0, we'll be the only undefeated team left. I mean, we already technically are right now. But look, I mean, I said this yesterday. Shameless plug. I did get a new job. I work at now the Call Sports Talk in New York. It's a New York-based radio station. You know what I'm saying? So definitely go check that out at thecallsports.com. But look, I had a 3-hour show. We're growing up. You've seen me from when I just started this channel. Now I got a full 3-hour live show on a radio channel. But I was talking about this. I was talking about the division, man. And this division can go any which way. I obviously am an Eagles fan, and obviously I think that the Eagles have kind of separated themselves a little bit, but not by much. I mean, at any point, this can turn around, right? At any point, you look at the Cowboys. The Cowboys are now looking at possibly getting Dak Prescott back next week or maybe the week after that. You're obviously getting Gallup back this week, so he'll probably be on a pit count. But things are you're starting to get a little bit healthier. The Giants, while we don't necessarily all think that they're a great team, they only have one loss. So at the end of the day, if they win the right games, if they don't lose too many more games, they can be making noise as well. Washington, I think, is better than they've probably played. And we'll see what happens there. But this division can go any which way. I did bring up a Dak Prescott, and I saw you wince a little bit. What is your thought process on that? Because I do see a lot of Cowboys fans saying that it might be a little too early. They're rushing him back. How do you feel about Dak Prescott possibly coming back against the Rams?
I mean, I get it, but if we're going to have another game where it's another game of rest, I'd rather Cooper Rush go against the Rams because, I mean, I'm not scared of the Rams. I don't think the Rams are some dynamic squad. Even last year, they won. They got a lot of the good players at the end, right, Joe? I mean, they picked up the Vonders. I mean, they scooped up the right Odell Beckham Juniors. They scooped up the right people at the right time and made their run. But I'm sorry, they don't have Odell Beckham Jr. now. Tom Miller. I know they replaced him, Allen Robinson. They're still trying to incorporate him in the offense. This ain't the Rams of last year to me. So I feel like, and I'm not saying Cooper Rush is a world beater, but if they continue to do that the way they're doing it, can run the ball, it can definitely be serviceable because we have a defense. And whenever you have a defense, it can keep you in the game in these last 3 games. If anything, his one games in the last 2 games, and it kept us same against Tampa Bay all the way until the end, pretty much. So as long as you guys, which I've been screaming for 800 million years, as long as you got a defense, because that's championships, that's going to keep in the game. So I'm cool with letting him sit out one more game against these Rams because I feel like the Cowboys can beat the Rams with Cooper Rush. Now, I did predict them lose Rams, but the way this defense is and the way I'm watching them, that makes me feel better about a win when you know your defense can stop people. And I'd rather Dak Prescott come back against the Eagles is fully better, and then instead is trying to push them against and possibly another injury happening right after that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I understand that 100%. And I kind of Obviously I'm not a Cowboys fan, but I kind of agree. I kind of feel like I said, no one in this division is too far away. It's still only for week 4. It's still a lot of football left, so it doesn't make sense to kind of put your cart before the horse, right? You gotta kind of just get through this season as healthy as possible. But so it'll be interesting, and I'm glad you bring up the defense. It's been a total a total polar opposite. It's crazy how the Dallas Cowboys year were one of, if not, they're probably top 5 offenses last year.
Close the door.
And now, say that again. Say that again.
I was just telling my girl close it. No, my bad. I was just telling my girl to close the door.
You go. But no, yeah,
Close the door.
you go from having a top 5 defense, top 5 offense, to now a top 10 defense. It's crazy how different it is. Obviously, you don't have, Dak Prescott, but you guys are bottom 3 when it comes to offense. So it is what it is. And I see a lot of people saying,
but like I said, though, but like I said, Joe, I've been screaming this. Now, me and you haven't talked forever. You know what I'm saying? Me and you haven't been in tune for as long as I've been doing the Cowboys podcast, like I haven't been in tune. You've been doing the Philly podcast. So we're still continuing to love each other. But I've been screaming defense because when I played, that was my forte, defense. I was a defensive specialist when I played. I could score on you, but I shut you down. And when I moved into coaching, that's what I did. I didn't go to offense when I moved into coaching. I went to defense because that was the thing I do. I love shutting people down, and that's always going to be my first love because I've seen it firsthand. I played in the sports game enough. I've been around sports enough. When you have a good defense, whether it's baseball, basketball, football, you are staying in the game. You are able to stay in the game and be able to make a play. If your offense is not playing good, or if you got an explosive offense, your offense can just make one play to win that game because your defense you in. And that's why the Cowboys, they're not world beaters on offense. You just said they're bottom of the barrel. They're barely scoring 20 points, and I still feel like they're a struggle to put up even today. I'm only going to give us 24 points at the most of turnovers because it's not like we're explosive with Cooper Rush, but they're doing the job. When you got that defense, Joe, I feel about things going forward that can keep you in the game. The defense is really, really legit.
Yeah, and I think that we have probably 2 of the better defenses in the league right now. If we're looking at just purely numbers, the Eagles have a slight advantage over Cowboys right now as far as points per game and yards per game. But like I said, both teams are doing very well defensively. And it's interesting. I think that we have different obviously we have some playmakers now, not like we used to just never have interceptions. I felt like that never happened, but now it seems like we have some playmakers in that secondary, as you guys do. But I feel like you guys are more of a big play, like you guys try to get the turnovers. We are more of those bend don't break and just try and let you make your own mistakes. You guys kind of cause those mistakes. But I like what I'm seeing out of both of our teams. And I will say this is the biggest test for the Philadelphia Eagles that we've probably had so far. This is probably the biggest game. You look at, obviously Doug Peterson coming back to Philly. That's big. It's emotional, whatever. But you look at the Jaguars, man. They are, like I said, top 10. I think the furthest they're from top 10 is 11 and has passing yards per game. But you look at their defense, you look at their points per game, they're right up there. The Eagles, don't get me wrong, we're doing well, but the Jaguars, a lot of people are really very high on Chargers. They went out there and destroyed the Chargers. So it's like, this is going to be the type of game that at the end of the day, if you go out there and you can prove a point as the Philadelphia Eagles, if you can go out there, score 30 points, kind of dominate this team, I think it says a lot. And I don't think, going into the year, I thought the Jaguars game was going to be, a symbolic game. But as far as we've been, this is probably the biggest game that we have. And I think that I won't say it's the biggest game for the Cowboys, but I do think that this is a big game for you guys. If you guys are able to win this game, kind of squeak by, get Dak Prescott, like we said, whether it's this week or next week or next week or the week after that, I should say, it's going to be interesting. I think as long as you stay close and once everybody gets healthy in this, because even you look at the Giants are decimated. They have no wide receivers. Like their top 2 wide receivers right now are no. And I'm not trying to be a hater, but they're no names. You know what I'm saying? They're not. You're paying $72 million to a guy getting like 20 snaps. It's ridiculous. And
we talked about that, right?
Yeah, it's just weird. So I think the NFC East, a lot closer than a lot of people think, and I think especially Eagles fans. I think that we don't want to necessarily realize that there's a lot of games to go. There's 13 games to go, and a lot of things can happen. So I want to see this. I know a lot of people are saying Jaguars are going to present us a problem, and that's good. I think that's good. I said that last week. I think that the Eagles need a foot in their butt. I think the Eagles need to have to play a full 4 quarters. We haven't done that yet. We haven't been forced to do that yet. I mean, obviously against Detroit, we didn't play good in the second half, but it's not like we played a full 4 quarters. We just didn't play good in the second half. So that's my whole thing. I think it'll be a good thing to kind of see us go out there and have a challenge. It's about damn time. But how do you feel? Because Washington has a good offense. Obviously they have Carson Wentz, so that's a little bit up in the air of how you feel about him. But Washington has been able to score points. They have been able to, make things happen, like I said. So do you think that this presents a good challenge for the Cowboys defense, or do you think the defense should just kind of dominate this Washington team? Because they are 12th in points per game. They're 12th in points per game, top 10 in pass yards per game. Not really a run offense, but they've put up some numbers. They have had some good games offensively. How do you look at it from a defensive perspective for your Cowboys?
Well, I'm definitely not overlooking them. That's what I'm gonna definitely say right now, first and foremost. Even though Carson Wentz did not play well against you guys, it wasn't like he just didn't have a lot of time. You guys jumped on him early with those sacks. I think he got like about 3 or 4 sacks, maybe 5 in the first half. That's going to wrap. And we know how Carson Wentz tends to start holding on that ball a little bit more. It's getting hit. That's what he does. So I think that has an effect on him. There were plays there. If you go back and watch that all 20, there were plays for them, and he made a few throws out there.
Yeah.
But there were some plays for him that there were some openings, but he just didn't get to him because either he was hit, he was getting sacked, or he was holding the ball too long. And that's just been his issue. So I'm going in this thing thinking shut down the run, because remember, Joe, for them to even win this game, they had to run. They did not run the ball against you guys. They weren't going to win. Guess what? They didn't run the ball. Factor against you guys. The run game was a non-factor. Carson Wentz is over 40 pass attempts a game. Gibson, the runner, is only averaging 13 attempts a game, and they 27th right now, I think, in the league. 25th actually in rush yards, 21st in rush attempts, 25th in rushing yards average at 3.7. So with all those things saying, shut down that run, keep them at where they are one-dimensional. And even though Carson Wentz can make plays, I'd rather say let's get that defense and pin the ears back, because I'm going to sit there and say you guys got a good front. But in my opinion, I think our front is just a little bit better because we have a little bit more maybe depth on the pass rushers. And I feel like those guys can cause prey. Because here's the thing. Brandon Graham, if I'm not mistaken, he had a big game against their tackle, their second-year player. Samuel Cosman. He had a really good game. Amir, you about him, right? Brandon Graham and DeMarcus Lawrence. Remember, we were making the comparison probably about a month ago. Now, which side does DeMarcus Lawrence play on? He plays on the same side that Graham played on, and he gave up 3 sacks, gave up like 6 pressures. You feel what I'm saying? So this is a game where he could really be explosive as well. Michael Parsons, you've got a wave of guys. So I feel like if our defense does what it is, I'm not saying that they can't beat us. But you know what I mean? What I'm saying is if that defense can get after them early, get them in those 3 and outs early, maybe get a turnover early, keep a short field for, I don't say it's a cakewalk, but I just feel good about it, what it is. And plus, when we look at their defense, the guys up front, Allen's playing good. Deron Payne is playing nut. He's going crazy. They got Montez Sweat. But check this out. On the defensive side, though, they're giving up 5.4 yards a carry. That's 29th, Joe. They're giving up 386 yards. That's for 20th. So you can run on them. You saw what we did last week, right? Tony Pollard 100 yards, Ezekiel Elliott 75 yards. So we can have that 31 pass, 30 rush game again. I feel good about our chances.
Yeah, and you look at the injuries. Obviously, the Cowboys have some big guys out, but Washington is pretty much at full health. There's really no excuse for them, and Washington is such a weird. it's a weird situation because I don't feel like the Eagles game is who they really are. I think that we just went out there and we just dominated them. I think that we had more online than I feel like they did. I asked George, because I know you had George on this week as well, which was a dope show. George is my guy. I love George. He knows his ish. But I asked George going into that, did he think? Yeah, he's awesome.
Stuff.
He's awesome. But I asked him going into that game if he thought like the team would kind of get behind Carson, and I just don't feel like they did. I feel like if anything, this offensive line was like, all right, whatever. Like it's crazy because they were top 10 passing yards per game going into that game. Carson Wentz had some crazy numbers going into that game. I'm not going to say, and he beat the Jaguars. The Jaguars look like a decent team. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that he's looked great. Oh my God, I'm surprised we killed him. I'm just saying I don't feel like that whole team kind of came out to that game. I think that they kind of just gave up after a while, if I'm being 100% honest, because we only scored in one quarter. Their defense played well. Their defense played actually very well. 24 points isn't really the how the game went. I think that people see the score and be like, oh, they just dominated them. We really didn't. Our defense did, but our offense really just had one good quarter, and that was it. Nope. So it's going to be very interesting to see what Washington does, because Washington is so on the fence, just like a Dallas, just like a Giants are. And so this is a big game, I think, for Washington. I think that they have to prove they should beat you. And I don't think that that's like a slight. I think that saying that you have Dalton Schultz is questionable. I don't know what's going on with him. I see Jaron Kearse is questionable. I see Connor McGovern is questionable. Obviously, don't have that. Is he going to play?
But But here's the thing, though. You're saying that, Joe. I can't really feel you on that. I feel a little more confident. I called the win against the Washington Commanders with Dak. I'm gonna go ahead and say it with Cooper Rush, because I still feel like we are the better team. Even though this is a division game, they are a rival. I definitely get that. But I just feel like we are the better. Carson Wentz is a better quarterback than Cooper Rush. I get defensively, I feel like that defense might keep going back to that defense. And plus, like I said, when I look at the team of how the Washington Commanders are, I mean, you saying, well, they should beat us. Everyone has been out how long, and we're running the ball. Okay, we got Jason Peters in there. He played 14 snaps, and he had a great pass rush. Left guard again, okay? And then you talk Schultz. Dalton Schultz is playing in this game. And we had two really good rookies, Ferguson and Peyton Hendershot, that are looking real good. So when you got, and then Michael Gallup is playing in this game, obviously I don't want to see them go crazy and maybe push him and let him probably take his time coming in. But Michael Gallup is going to be active. Kearse is Wilson, who's playing like top safety right now. He's come in for 24 tackles in 3 games, 1 interception, forced fumble. So he's playing like right now. It's a strong or Kearse came. So we have, and Malik Hooker is playing. So I can't really feel. I like to feel what you're saying, but I can't feel you because we don't have important.
Don't get me wrong,
guys that are out that's going to really make or break our team.
I say it more so from the Washington point of view. Like, if I'm a Washington fan, this is a game that you should be able to win. This is a game that you look at and say, look, the Cowboys are not where they want to be health-wise, right? They don't have the quarterback that they want out there. They don't have some of the pieces. Obviously, Gallup hasn't played, and you don't know what you're going to get out of him. I'm not saying that they're more talented. I'm saying that the way that the cards are kind of set for them right now, this is probably their best chance to beat you, right? I don't think that the second game, if Dak is out there and Gallup is in full swing and CD's getting a little bit more consistent as a pass catcher, I don't think that they say, oh, we have a great chance right now. I think you look at this game and say this is one of our better chances to go out there and steal a divisional game. So while I understand and I get you, I definitely agree with you. I'll agree with you that you guys have a good chance of winning this game. But if I'm a Washington fan, right, which God bless that I'm not, but if I, what does gaslighting mean anyways? I never understood what that meant. But what's it called? If I'm a Washington fan, I'm looking at this game and I'm saying, this is my best chance. This is my best chance to go out there and win. So if I'm Washington, I am saying, like, we have to go out and win this game. This is a big game for us. But, you know, it is what it is. I do think that Dallas has been making it happen, right? Like I said, they are bottom 10 when it comes to offense, but that defense is just carrying them. And Cooper Rush is making the plays when he has to. And I guess that's what really, really matters, right? So
Right.
And I agree with you. Like I said, I agree with you that you guys have been making it happen. You have played some okay teams. I mean, we'll see. It depends on how you look at it. Obviously, Tampa's very, very good, and then Bengals have been kind of up and down. And then the Giants are the Giants. But at the end of the day, this is probably the weakest that Dallas is going to be all year. So if I'm Washington, I'm looking at that and saying I have to go out here and beat them. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. This is the most important
Yeah.
game.
I
If you
would. I
lose
would.
this game,
No, I was saying if I definitely feel you, not to cut you off, but I definitely feel you in that
no, you're
aspect.
good.
If you're a Washington fan, if this is the best time to win, this is the best time to win because they have a Cooper Rush. Even though he's won those games, like I said, the offense hasn't been world beaters. We haven't just been moving the ball up and wasn't too bad against the Giants. We kind of moved the ball against them. We kind of had self-inflicted wounds, penalties at the wrong time, things of that nature. But we kind of did move the ball against him. But I will say that maybe that helps Kellen Moore and continues to help Cooper Rush get confident in what they're trying to do. And like I said, I definitely feel like it's going to be a fight. I don't think this is going to be a blowout. People need to understand. I see people in the chats. Don't sleep on them, big game. Don't sleep on them, James. I'm not sleeping on them. First of all, I called. If you go back to my channel, I said it would be like a 24-20 game. I said it could be 13, depending if we get turnovers. But I said 24-20 on my channel. Be 24-20. And it's going to be more of a dogfight because Carson Wentz can get some passes. I can see them getting a big bomb on us early that we kind of maybe get overconfident, call the wrong defense. They get a deep pass early. Now here's the dogfight. I could see something like that, Joe. You feel me? I could see where down to starting like that. So I'm definitely not blind to it. But when I just say, I'm just more confident in the team. When you have offense, Joe, I like the team.
Yeah.
But when you got a good defense, I feel we can always stop or we can make a play to get us back in this game. That is huge when your defense can do that.
I agree 100%. I think this is probably the best take right here so far. I mean, the first one to get to 20, I think is going to win. I don't think either team is really naturally equipped to kind of come back from a big deficit right now, at least. Obviously, things will change for Dallas once they get the quarterback back. But I agree with that. I think that the first person that can kind of get to 20 is.
And I want to ask you a couple questions, though.
Yeah.
I want to ask you a couple questions, though, Joe, because I want to talk about this Jacksonville game with you right quick because
we just went like 25 minutes on your boys.
Yeah. We want to talk about this Jacksonville game because, see, I think they could have been 3-0. You feel me? Because that was a comeback victory that the Washington did against the Jacksonville Jaguars. They could have won that game. And, I ain't going to lie. I've always liked the Jacksonville Jaguars from afar, not like – when they came in the league, I love when they got Mark Brunell. They've got Tony Brackens, Tony Baselli. They got McCardle, Jimmy Smith. They had the tight end that was
MJD.
Really good. Kyle, they had, you know what I'm saying? Like Jacksonville, they had defense. You feel me? They had them big boys in the middle. Stroud and they had was the first guys to get those 2 6'6" Henderson and Stroud. Yeah. Those big boys in the middle, like. I always kind of like Jacksonville from afar. Like they're a team like I never hated on. I always loved their jerseys, the black. So I like how they're putting the team together. And I can't lie, I was excited that they got Urban Meyer out of there because I thought that was a mistake. Me and you talked, and we both said he wasn't going to last a year. And he didn't, but I feel like that was the perfect coach. Me and you talked about this. That was the perfect coach, in my opinion, to put in place for them was Doug Peterson. Yeah. Getting a quarterback was like Trevor Lawrence in his second year can really develop him. And man, that kid Walker from Georgia, he's nice. They got the kid Payne, Allen. Allen. He's pretty good. What's his name? Josh Allen. Yeah, he's pretty good. Remember when we talked about Lloyd? The rookie linebacker, Devin Lloyd. Remember, I said, I don't want him, but if he goes to the right system, he can be good. He went to the right system, and he's turning up. This is the perfect system for him because he can use his playmaking abilities. Already got an interception. I just kind of like their makeup, man. And I think this will be a really good test because they're young, they're athletic. I feel like Peterson's going to really have them up for this game and playing. And I think they're going to want to show everybody they're not a fluky team. I think they want to show that they're for real. So I feel like they are going to bring it. From my perspective, what are kind of your keys to the game, knowing that they still are young and you're dealing with a young quarterback in Trevor Lawrence, where you really haven't got a beat on him, but he's playing heads and shoulder above the way he played last year. Kind of what are your kind of keys to shutting down their offense, and what do you feel like you need to do on the defensive side to really kind of win this game in your perspective?
I will say one thing off rip. I told a lot of people that Trevor Lawrence was way better than he played last year. A lot of people just kind of poo-pooed on him, but now you
I
see,
remember you saying that. Yeah, you
yeah,
said
now
that.
you see he's a lot better than what people were giving him credit for, and I'm happy honestly because I felt like he was getting destroyed behind that offensive line. Outside of James Robinson, you really had no offensive weapon. So I'm happy to see him, getting a good coach as well. Like you said, Doug Peterson is literally the perfect guy there, and I think we're seeing that. Defensively, look, we have a deficiency right now at probably their most effective point, and that's going to be their slot, right? Christian Kirk, we all kind of laughed at that contract that he
I
got,
know,
but
right?
he's been
Ooh,
he's been killing it.
he's going
He's been
crazy.
going he's been going crazy, and he's been getting most of his bread out of the slot. So we are down right now with Vontae Maddox, right? He's our slot guy. We obviously picked up Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. We've had him playing a lot of slot reps. He's played a lot of slot reps in his career. So I'm sure if necessary, we'll just kind of move him there. Maybe we move Darius Slay there. Maybe we just have Darius Slay kind of shadow him. And, that's your best option. We're going to have our best option cover him. That's probably going to be my biggest concern. That's probably going to be my biggest, key to watch and see how that all works out. Because at the end of the day, the Eagles are a great offensive team, and I think that we can score on most teams. But if you can't stop the other team from scoring, and the Jaguars have shown that they can score the ball, like I said, they are top 10 in points per game. I think they're top 8. Yeah, they're number
seventh.
7. They're number 7. So, I mean, look, if you look at just the percentages, you just look at the averages, right? It should be a close game. Then you add into that we are a little weak when it comes to their best asset. Then it gets you a little bit worried. So I'm watching to see what they do to kind of replace Avonte Maddox. But beyond that, I'm looking for Jonathan Gannon to continue to bring pressure. I think that we are learning that this team, when you bring pressure, or at least stunt up front, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I won't even say you got to bring 5 or 6 every play, but when you're moving the defensive linemen around, when you're bringing guys on different types of stunts, we see what happens. We see, Brandon Graham was able to get a big sack off of a twist. You see Fletcher Cox getting a strip sack off of a twist going in the middle. So there's so many things you can do with this team. So I just want to see the defense adjust. I want to see the defense, change what their mindset is to go with what's going on, because we're going to have to see if our slot can really hold up. I think we'll be fine. And then Jalen Hurts, man, it's an ugly game out there, right? It's going to be an ugly day out there. It's supposed to rain a little bit. Going to be very windy. This is another big step for Jalen Hurts. I think if Jalen Hurts can prove that he is going to, that he can kind of just play through all elements. We've seen him pass the ball. We know that he can run the ball. So now this is just another, step and another test for him. So I do like the Jaguars a lot. And I know prior to this season, I said that we were going to win that game. There's no way we can lose that game. But when you start looking at everything with this game, I mean, you look at just our record, right? Our record against them. I think we're 3-3 right now. We are on a 3-game winning streak, but we've never had the lead. We've never had the lead when it comes to our series, and then you look at Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson's walking into a building with a mural of him in front of the locker room for some reason right now. And they have a whole, statue of him. So there's so many things going on. I think on paper, just like you look at the two teams, I think the Eagles should be able to win this game, but I think it's going to be a lot closer than a lot of people think. Right now, the spread is 6.5 points. I don't know if it's going to be that far of a game. I think it might be a 3-point, score. It's just going to be a very, very good game. But I think that the biggest test is going to be definitely our slot. And we don't have Boston Scott, our running back. We're supposed to be not starting, but we're supposed to give Trey Sermon some snaps. Trey's somebody I was looking forward to seeing out there, just because we need a big body guy, and we don't have that. And Miles Sanders really hasn't closed out a game for us yet. So that gets me a little bit worried. But that's really where I'm at. They don't have Kavion Chase on their linebacker, but other than that, I think everybody else is a go for them. It's gonna be interesting, man. If we lose this game, it's gonna suck. It's gonna really, really suck, because this is, like I said a couple times, this is your first real big test. I mean, the Jaguars have played good football throughout this year. If you lose this game, the question marks start to come out, especially depending on how you lose this game. If
Yeah,
it's a
how
really
you
close game,
it's how you lose it.
yeah, if it's a close game and like Christian Kirk just goes crazy, I'm gonna sit here next week and I'm gonna be like, listen, once Avonte Maddox comes back, I think we'll be all right. If we go out there and Jalen Hurts just looks atrocious, or something that is supposed to be good looks atrocious, I'm gonna be a little bit worried because we don't know what this is. So I mean, yeah, it's a big game for us. It is definitely a big game for us. Obviously, it doesn't make or break our season whether we win or lose, but it will answer a lot of questions on either side. And I know a lot of Cowboys fans can't wait to see us lose. And Ray Jones brought up Chachere, which is actually a really big good point. We just brought up Andre Chachere from our practice squad. He was a guy that was getting a lot of safety reps in the preseason, a lot of safety looks last year. So if we are to move down Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, who is obviously our safety, Andre Chachere might be a name that you see at that safety position, because I know Eagles fans and maybe the brass doesn't really feel comfortable with Kayvon Wallace going out there for the whole game. So that's really the only way. Spike says, my God, have some faith in the Eagles. Why can't people just say what could happen, right? Like, am I supposed to just sit here and be like, oh, we're going to blow them out by 40? No. The Jaguars have played good football, and to sit here and not realistically look at what Doug Peterson has these guys doing in Jacksonville is just foolish to me, because Spike says 34-10. If we lose and we don't win 34-10, you're going to be upset. You're going to be disappointed. Let's be real about who the Jaguars are. So if something does happen, you know what I'm saying? Then Mickey says, but I thought Gardner Johnson was so good. He is. I don't get that question. I don't get that question. But anyways, yeah, so I think that the biggest concern I have is what we do at that slot position, and we'll see, man. We'll see. We'll definitely see. I don't think this is a make or break game. It's just gonna feel a little bit like what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like that's really like it. Like we said, like I said,
I don't feel like it's a make or. I don't really feel like this is a make or break game. I think this is a good test. I'm gonna still sit there and say that, hey, Jalen Hurts has looked good. I will definitely say he's good, but I'm sorry, I still don't think he can match line for line with like maybe some top guys in the game. Like if it came down to a scoring matchup, I don't think Hurts can keep up. I think he's got the good defense. It doesn't have to put the pressure on him to throw 300, 400, 500 yards a game. You know what I'm saying? Even if you got the receivers, Devontae Smith looked really good. AJ Brown has looked like the real deal since he's got with y'all. But I don't think he's one of those line for line guys that's throwing like all the ball all around everywhere and just y'all getting 30 points a game every single game. I just don't see that. Just me. And there's no hate on Jalen Hurts. It's just what I feel in my heart. So I feel like the Jags, what their main thing they need to do is they need to be able to score early. I think that's their key to beating you is scoring early. Get on top of you guys early to where it's a situation where Jalen Hurts is really feel like he's got to really get you back in the game throwing, and then that's where I want to see. So that's where I feel like the Jaguars got to come. If they get the drive first, they got to score first. They need touchdowns. They need to put pressure on you guys because I don't feel like the Jags are going to be good in this game. It's at Philly too, right?
Yeah.
So it's at Philly. They can't afford to get down early in Philly. You know what I mean? That's one thing. And they're a young team. They cannot afford that. So if they can jump out there and get out there early, maybe a 7-10 lead, and then maybe that young defense can start feeling confident, right? That's what happens, Joe. You see those young teams, right? They get that early lead, and then the team is trying to come back because they're like, oh, shoot, they jumped on us early. We start pressing now. And then maybe the Drayvon Walker gets the sack out of nowhere. A young guy gets the sack out of nowhere, picks up. So that's when those things kind of happen. So that's why I feel like that's the key to the game for me. Be able to score early from the Jacksonville Jaguars to beat y'all. They definitely got to be able to run. They're one of the top running teams in the league right now. They're 10th in the league at 123 yards a game. And as much as Trevor Lawrence has done very well, don't put him in the position where he's just got to throw the ball everywhere and win the game. You know what I'm saying? I think he's better. You know what I'm saying? When you can right now keep him in a good right now, he's averaging what? He's averaging close to like 36, 35 attempts a game. But when he's really good, with that Indy game, he was 25 of 30, 235, 83 completion percentage, and guess what? 24-0. You know what I mean? I think that's when the Trevor Lawrence is good right now. Not saying he wouldn't be good like later on, but right now, Joe, if they can keep that good run balance like we're talking about with Dallas, even though Trevor Lawrence is a better quarterback than Cooper Rush, I really think they need to have good run balance to really beat y'all, and they have to get over 100 yards, at least 150 yards as a team. They have to get 150 yards as a team to beat y'all, in my opinion, and they have to jump on y'all early. Then I think it can happen. If they get down to y'all early and you guys jump on them with a 10-0, 13-0 type game, then I think it could be kind of over. Just me.
Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, these are the things that I look at, right? The Jaguars are number 1 in turnover differential, right? They're +7. The Eagles are in our third, so it's not like we're not getting turnovers. But at the end of the day, we are number 1 in total yards per game. So it's going to be that battle. Right? To me, it's going to be that battle as well. Will the Jaguars make Jalen Hurts something he's not, which is a turnover guy? Like Jalen Hurts doesn't turn the ball over that much, whether it's, running the ball, whether it's, interceptions. He's not a guy that gives the ball up a lot. Will they make that difference? Will that change? Right? The Jaguars have not been giving up a lot of points. They're 4th, I think, or top 5 somewhere along the lines in points allowed per game. Will that change? The Eagles are obviously very high when it comes to points per game. I think we're top 5 in points per game. So there's a lot of things that mirror each other in opposite ways. Like, we're a team that doesn't like to give up, or doesn't like, obviously nobody likes to, but we're not a team that gives up the ball a lot. They're a team that takes the ball away a lot. Who wins that battle, right? We're a team that scores a lot. They're not a team that gives up a lot of points. Who wins that battle? So it's a lot of things to watch in this game. And I think people look at the Jaguars and expect the Jaguars of last year or the year before that. That's not who we're playing. That is not who we're playing. No, I don't care what anybody says. Yeah, I really don't care what anybody says.
Better coach. You know what I'm saying? The coaching makes the difference. We know that. It's night and day. You can just say, when we sit there and say coaching doesn't make a difference, we see it with the Jaguars. We've seen it with teams before, but we see it with the Jaguars. They had a terrible coach in Urban Meyer. The franchise was terrible, right? And within 1 year, look how quick it changes. So that just tells you they had talent, but coaching makes a difference. If you got good coaching from top to bottom, it can, number one, mask some things from your players, right? You don't have to have the perfect type players or even great players if you have a really good damn coaching staff, straight up, because they can coach those guys up. But if you got talent with really good coaching, that's when you're a consistent winner, right? That's when you're competing for playoffs every year. That's when you're competing for championships every year, because coaching staff is good and it's going to the players. So that's made a world of difference for the Jags, man. And it's like night and day with them. They were terrible last year, and now look at them. They look like a team that, hey, if they stay the course, they're going to be a problem in the AFC South.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting game. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look, the Chargers, you can say whatever you want about them if they're overrated or whatever, but they have a talented team. They went out there and just destroyed them. So I'm not going to sleep on the Jaguars. That's the last thing I'm going to do. And especially, it's only week 4. So I am not sleeping on any team that we play. I don't care. We're going, maybe we won't. Hopefully, hey, I hope we go 17-0, but at some point, you're going to get smacked in the mouth.
No damn 17-0.
Hey, I'm a hope for it. I'm a hope for it. I'm a hope for it. But no.
Hey, man, hey, hold up, Joe. Hold up. Joe, hold up. They play us?
We play the 16th, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. October 16th, I believe. Let me double check.
Oh, my God. Okay, let me tell you something.
You're going to be out here.
On the 15th, okay? And I'm going to be out here.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have to kick it. We're gonna have to do something. Like, I have a bar that will let us do a live stream.
So
if you come down to Tampa, I have a bar that will let us do a live stream. I didn't even think of that. We're gonna have to do that.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to do that. It's an Eagles bar. You might hate it, but it is what it is.
And I'm taking $50. I ain't scared. You motherfuckers. I ain't scared, you motherfuckers.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do that.
I'm gonna be good when I'm coming down. I'm gonna be good. But we're saying is, just a selfish look. I will be a 50. So $50 hollers, I'll definitely take. All I'm saying, I'll take $50 hollers when we go live, and I say $50 hollers. Okay, throw them $50 hollers. You only 51, baby. You only the 501, baby.
Facts. Facts, facts. Yeah, we're gonna have to do that. I didn't even think of that when you told me you were coming down. Yeah, well, that's gonna be fun. Oh, that's dope. And it's a night game. Oh, that's
Yeah,
gonna be
that's gonna
lit.
be dope.
That's gonna be. I'm gonna call him tonight. I'm gonna call him tonight and set that up. That's dope.
That's
I'm
gonna,
hype. But yeah, look,
yeah.
I didn't even
That's
think
gonna
of
be
that.
lit.
About I didn't think of, and at that point, well, look, the Eagles will be 5-0. You know, the Cowboys will have 2 more losses. You know, so
We'll be 4-1.
even though you know it's even though it's gonna be rough for you guys to see you lose, you know, it'll bring in your birthday a little tough, but it is what it is, you know. I'm excited though, but look, I'm gonna say this much. I'm gonna say this much for all the people.
Yeah.
For all the people in the chat really sitting here thinking that I'm hating on the Eagles about winning, I'm not hating at all, not even close to it. This is a tough game. You want to talk about realistic, right? You want to talk about realism. I did say that 6.5 points spread. I don't think it's going to be that far, but you look at the bets, it's 51% Jacksonville right now, 49% Philly. And the reason that I think that is the case is because they're taking the points. I don't necessarily think that the Eagles will lose this game. I don't think so, but I do think it's going to be a close game. And I think that Vegas thinks the same damn thing right now. So, you know, listen, I'm not saying that I'm right, but I think I'm siding. I think I think Vegas is siding with me, and I think that's something to say. But this is going to be a game. This is going to be a week. I'm going to say that this is going to be a week that you see a lot of questions answered, right? Like with the Cowboys, there's still that up in the air. When Dak is coming back, you guys will probably be a different offense. We'll see how that looks. But defensively, you go out there, win another game, and it's going to be scary when Dak comes back. People are going to be like, this could be a really scary team if that offense gets it going. You look at the Giants. If the Giants win another game, while I don't think Chicago is a good team, I don't think Chicago is a great team by any stretch of the imagination.
No, Joe. No,
brother, I said this before.
No,
I said this.
no,
I think the Giants can be
no.
second in this division. I do. I really do. I really think that the Giants could be second in this division.
How, bro?
Because
Huh?
I don't think you look at the players and be like, oh, this is a number 2 in the. It's just it's such a close division. They started off hot.
We didn't do nothing. No, it's in Philly. They didn't play a team that won a hot.
You're breaking up a little bit.
Answer that. They didn't play a team that didn't win a game.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I mean, don't get me wrong.
I'm not won a game.
I'm not saying that the Giants are a juggernaut. I'm not saying the Giants are going to surprise a bunch of people in the playoffs and everything. But you look at the Giants schedule. All right, let's just look at the Giants schedule real quick. I'm going to pull that up because obviously they got Chicago today. I don't think Chicago is that good of a team. So I think that they have a good shot of winning this. Then you got Green Bay. Obviously, that's going to be tough. You got Baltimore. That should be tough. Jaguars. Actually, maybe not. They got like 3 games in a row that they're going to get blown out probably. But then you got Seattle, you got Houston, you got the Lions, and then you have all division games outside of 2 weeks. Like you literally, your last 3, 6, 7 games, 5 of them are all division games. So I'm not saying that they're the greatest team. I'm not saying that whatever. But if the Dallas Cowboys or Washington slip up in one of those games, if the Eagles slip up in one of those games, they might realistically come into, they might do something. Like I said, I'm not saying that they're great. I'm not saying they're world beaters, but anybody has a chance to get that second spot. I truly do believe that, especially depending on how Dak looks when he comes back.
Yawn.
I truly do believe that. Outside of the next 3 weeks.
And I truly disagree with you.
Outside of the next 3 weeks, I don't think that the Giants have that tough of a schedule. Let's look at the Cowboys schedule.
They don't have a good team. Okay, let's look at it. We play the Commanders, we play the Rams, we play you, and then we play the Bears, and then we play the Lions before we go on our bye. Now, the Bears, I don't think they're a good team. I'm still set on their quarterback in Justin Fields. I definitely feel like that Detroit Lions game is going to present a challenge now. That Detroit Lions is a different team. We know that's going to be a dogfight with you guys. You know what I'm saying? That's a dogfight. Rams, that's an up in the air game with me because the Rams are talented, but they can lose that game. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not an automatic win for the Rams. You feel me? So when I look at our scope of our schedule, I just look at the Giants as a team. Okay. We went in there with Cooper Rush, dog, and I don't feel like the Giants really threatened us in that game. We kept them in the game with bad penalties. Dallas did dumb things. We kept them in the game. CeeDee Lamb dropped a big first quarter touchdown. You get what I'm saying? We were moving the ball on these guys. You know what I mean? We were running on them. I'm sorry. They don't have really a defense. Leonard Williams was out. And like you just said, the receiving core is super, bro. And Saquon Barkley had a couple good games, but Daniel Jones, are you scared of a Daniel Jones, Joe? He's got to be a deciding for some of these games, bro. He is not. If he didn't have the mobility in that game against us, we had 10 sacks. Shout out to my dog Cole's Cowboys too. Shout out to my dog Cole's
shout
Cowboys.
out to Cole's, man. Shout out to Cole's.
I don't do a lot of shows with no more Cowboys content creators any longer, but I want to do a show with you Cole's Cowboys. So let's try to make that happen.
Say less. Yeah,
try to make that
happen. Hell yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think that you look at how the Giants are built. Obviously, there's a lot of questions. There's a lot of suspect things on that team. They're not a great team, but I just feel like they're gonna get healthy. They do have a lot of injuries right now. They're gonna get healthy, and I just don't feel like the NFC East is solidified yet. I don't think that there is a second team in the East right now that you're like, oh yeah, they're definitely gonna be number 2 to Eagles. I do think that the Eagles.
Why you keep on saying the Eagles are number 1 in the division, man? We're still the returning guys, not y'all. So you keep on saying
we 4-0. We talk about this year. We talk about this year.
You ain't 4-0. You 3-0.
We about to be. We about to be 4-0.
We don't know that. Okay, well make sure I throw them tweets out when you lose.
Another thing I want to talk about, but we got about like 20 more minutes. I want to ask you this because there's 2 things I want to ask you. All right. Here we like to admit things, and I'm giving you an opportunity to maybe admit that you may have been a little bit wrong, right? Like we look at the arguments we were having in the preseason talking about our wide receiving cores. Are we off of the CeeDee Lamb train yet? Are we admitting that we have probably 2 wide receivers that would start over a CeeDee Lamb if he was on the same team? Like I'm taking Devontae Smith and AJ Brown over a CeeDee Lamb, or do you still think he's one of the best in the league in the division?
I'm gonna sit there and say I'm not taking the Devontae Smith over CeeDee Lamb right now. I'm still not.
You take AJ Brown?
That's a good one. AJ because AJ Brown's a dog. As of right now, probably. As of right now, because CeeDee's inconsistent. That's why I'm gonna say right now because CeeDee's inconsistent and he's still a little immature. But we did see in that second, and after he had that big drop where he came like 4 straight catches and had the game winner with the one-hand grab, that's big time, dog. I'm gonna say AJ over CeeDee right now, but I'm not taking Devontae Smith over CeeDee Lamb. I can't do that, and that's just
the catches that the stuff that we've seen from Devontae Smith already has been very, very impressive.
Oh my gosh! First of all, okay, so you haven't seen that catch when CeeDee's rookie year against the Minnesota Vikings.
Oh no, he's had some great catches, but he's had some big drops as well. I can get like a highlight reel of some of the biggest catches of CeeDee Lamb's career. You can't really do that with Smith.
He has yes, Zoltan, Scary Terry's pretty good too, but we just talking about Eagles Cowboys. But CeeDee Lamb, he's good. He is good. He's a really good receiver. You got a super chat in there too. Who's that super chat from, Big Dog?
I think that's you.
Is it my super chat? Okay.
Yeah.
So shout out to my dog. Was it B Wee for the $10 holla? Jags 24, Philly 20. Trevor's going to play really well and get that dub. That could happen. That score could happen.
I can't be mad at that. I can't. Yeah, that was realistic.
Number one, that's a great shout out for the super chat. That's a good. If you looked at a score, that's where I see a score right there in that game. If the Jags would win that could be the score of the game. But what Cole's Cowboys says, I think the biggest thing, Joe, we're not denying CeeDee Lamb's talent. Do I think he has that elite talent? I think that's what we're all wondering because one day we see it, right, Joe? That's the maddening thing I think about CeeDee. When we had Michael Irvin, right? When you're talking about the 88s, right? When you had Michael Irvin, you knew dog, right? When you got Dez Bryant, you knew instantly dog.
Yeah.
I think the thing we keep going back and forth is CD's a dog. One day you're like, ugh, he nasty. And then the next day you're like, what's going on? And I think that's him. I think if he can be consistent, Joe, and really let his talent shine, because he was a dog at Oklahoma. Can we not say, Joe, he was not a dog at Oklahoma? He was
Definitely.
nasty at Oklahoma, dog. He was a dog. So we can't say he's not. You feel me? I just think it's the consistency, the maturity. Once he gets that, I think we could see more of his doggish traits. So right now, I think what's holding him back, Joe, in my opinion, is his lack of maturity. I think he's a little immature. And if he gets mature, Joe, I think we'll see a different CD and we can be like, hey, he's that dog that we've finally been seeing. I think the maturity is really stopping him right now, Joe, just in my opinion.
You know who I think is a
oh, there's my peoples.
Yeah, there you go. You got your $50 holla.
There's my
Damn
peoples.
Entertainment.
Let's post it. Post it. Because I don't have my
before
top
you read
up.
it.
Okay.
Yeah, before you read it, I will say, what was I gonna say? That got me thrown off for a second. What were we talking? You were talking about how he's not mature yet. I know somebody that's very mature. I know somebody that's very consistent, and he plays for the Eagles, and his name is Devontae Smith. So yeah, I mean, I'm taking Devontae Smith over CD. I'm taking I'm taking AJ Brown Devontae Smith in the East.
I can't be mad at you, but I'm gonna just say Devontae Smith has been in the league how long? CD's
2.
Lamb has been in the league how long? And what did CeeDee Lamb do his rookie year? He was turned up his rookie year. And let's not act like he had a terrible last year, okay? He had over 1,000 yards receiving. He's over 2,000 yards already in his career. If you look at his numbers in the first 2 years compared to the other 88s, he's beating them. So y'all can talk all y'all want about that Devontae Smith thing, but go over there those numbers what CeeDee Lamb does in his first 2 years before you go do all that barking about Devontae Smith. And let me tell you, I'm a Devontae Smith fan. So let not nobody say that, okay? I'm a fan of his. I like him. But stop trying to bark like he's just all better than CD and he been doing all this and that, because CD been turning up over here. So I'm going to have to get in my feelings a little bit on this one, Joe, and say, hush up all that Slim Reaper talk over CD. I'll give you the A.J. Brown, okay, you Eagles guys. I give you A.J. Brown, but I'm not giving you the Slim Reaper. Okay. And now let me read my $50 holler, Joe, before you say anything.
You get me in my bag.
Ho! Hey, it's a $50 holla. My dog from Damn Entertainment I gave you good shout outs on the page too, big dog. Feagles. He said Feagles. Feagles record is smoke and mirrors. They're only placeholders for us, and they would get the L today. Don't panic. Beat them commies. How about them Cowboys? Feagles ain't scaring nobody. There you go. I like it. I like Damn Entertainment. You my buddy. Every time.
He wasted $50 to say some lies, man. Say some straight up lies. That ain't happening, man. That is not happening. Cole said, stop the
Batman. I feel him, dog. Like, cut it out. We get it. We get it. We get it. Hey, calm down. Batman character every other week. Calm down. Y'all doing cartoon characters every week. Y'all so happy over there. You could tell Eagles. You can tell the Eagles. They talk about the Cowboys fans, how we all geeked up. Listen to y'all. Y'all are so geeked. You know, they got a song by Gucci Mane, right? Girly geeked up. Girly geeked up. Midnight might be. That's the song we playing with y'all. Oh, they geeked up.
Well, we deserve it. We might be.
If I told you last year, play Gucci Mane song for these Eagles fans.
If I told you last year that the Eagles were going to have the best quarterback and offense in the league, in the division, excuse me, in the division. I didn't mean the league. In the division, maybe the league by the end of the year. But if I told you that, you would be like, "Oh, ain't no way." But look at where we are now, and we got the better defense. That's what people ain't even.
Your defense
we
is
definitely
not better
have
than our defense.
Number wise,
your defense is not better than our defense.
Number wise, it is.
Okay, well, we ain't going on the numbers. We can.
What are we going off of that?
We top 10. What are your numbers right now? What are your
we're top 5? I'll bring them up. Yeah, because I was talking about this yesterday on the show.
Because I can bring up because we're in the league in sacks right now. I know we're top in pass defense. Only thing that's been hurting us is the run game, and that's only because that damn Tampa game.
I know we're ahead of you on points per game.
Okay, How much y'all giving up? We giving up 17.3. That's good for 8.
We're literally right in front of you. We're at number 7. Hold on. I'm bringing up the
Okay,
number
so
right
you
now.
act like you blowing us out the water with that. We're 5th in overall in passing yards.
We're at
right?
16.7 points per game given up. What were you at?
Oh my God, we're at
What were you at?
17.3. Cut it out.
That's a whole extra point. That's a whole extra point, dog.
Oh my goodness.
That's a
Cut
whole
it
extra.
out.
And you got to think you got to factor in. We had that big game against the Lions. Yeah, right. Everybody
Teams
loves
all
to bring up how we gave up
struggle to
35
pass play
points.
against us. That's good for 3rd in the league. We're first in the league in sacks. We're 3rd in the league in passes against. We're 5th in the league in passing yards against. The only thing like I said is
in the league yards. We're 5th in the league yards against total. What's your turnover differential? What's your
our turnover?
And we're 5th.
Our turnover differential is I don't think it's great because I think we only got like 2 turnovers right now. Where are we at?
And we're 3rd in turnover differential with +4.
And we're 8th in yards allowed, 8th in points allowed, 7th in total points per average. I mean, only thing that's hurting us right now is the run game. Teams are averaging 4.9 yards against us. We get that down. We damn near top 10 everything.
We are top 10 everything. So I mean, right now we're better.
You're not better than us.
Right now we're better. I'm taking a team that last year you guys were telling us how important turnovers were. Now that we're number 3 in turnover differential in the NFL, it doesn't matter anymore.
I didn't say that. I said I still feel like we are the better defense than you. Line for line, we're better defensively than y'all, in my opinion.
Y'all don't have a line for line.
Yeah.
I see.
Line for line. Okay. Line for line.
Like positionally, right?
Yeah.
I think that we have a better cornerback room. I think that our safety room is probably tied. I would say tied.
No, you're not giving. I'm not giving you your safety.
Chauncey Gardner-Johnson and Marcus Epps.
And Donovan Wilson and Malik Hooker haven't been balling. Go check them numbers, dog. Go check them.
I don't know about Malik Hooker. I know Donovan.
What Malik Hooker? I mean, I don't know. We don't go on PFF grades, but he's a top 5 guy right now.
All right. Well, I'll give you that then. I'll give you the safeties guy. I mean, our safeties probably are our weakest spot, but I think it's close.
Trevin Diggs can bang with your corners, but you have 2 overall 1 because you're going to take your guy over Anthony Brown.
We have 3,
Bradbury over
in my
Brown.
Opinion.
Okay,
I would take Avante too. You know, like our slot guy. So I'll give you that. I think our defensive line is better than yours.
Nah,
you don't think our defensive line is better than yours?
Well, I'm only why because you know what you can say. Can you? Okay, were we throwing Hassan Reddick in this? What is he? Is he a pass rusher or is he a linebacker?
Where are we putting Micah? Where are we putting Micah? I would
see what they do with Micah, though. They duel him. He has a lot of pass rushing snaps, big dog. I can't help that.
I would say Hassan is a pass rusher. That's more so where we want him at.
Right,
least.
But he can cover linebacker, right?
Yeah, so he can definitely cover.
He can cover, but so he's a dual guy, but he's more line guy than linebacker guy. Where Micah is more linebacker in position, but they rush him because he's so damn good. Right?
No, it's facts.
Dorrance Armstrong Jr. had a career year with 5 sacks. He's got 3 already. Dante Fowler's coming on. Sam Williams is a damn good draft pick.
We got Brandon Graham, Fletcher Cox.
Okay, DeMarcus Lawrence got 3 sacks.
So does what's it called? Hold on, how many sacks does Fletcher Cox have?
We lead the league.
Fletcher Cox has been going crazy right now, and Brandon Graham. You said we just had like 9 sacks in one game,
and we just had 11-2.
I mean, but we had 9-1.
Right, I mean, then we'll get after Carson Wentz, bro.
I'm taking. That'll be interesting. If you guys don't, we gonna talk. Yeah, go ahead.
Read my super chat. $10 holler. Shout out to my dog B Week for the $10 holler. CD took over the game last week without AJ Brown pulling coverage. Dallas Cowboys 28, skin 16. Dallas scored. D scores a TD today. Micah has his best game at the Cowboys. Let's go. I love hearing that, and I'm gonna also jump on that. Say special teams getting this, and Kavontae Turpin, who's been very close in the Cincinnati and Giants game. He almost got that one against the Giants. I think he gets one today in this game, opens up the game. Cowboys get it.
All right, so shout out to Drew. He wants you to answer a question, and honestly, I want to get this as well.
Okay.
If we 3-0, who's better? Who's realistically better than the Eagles right now? If nobody's beating them.
I didn't say anything against that. Where did you hear me say
I'm
that?
just saying though. Like, who's right now better than the Eagles? If you know what I'm saying,
All
like
I'm saying is what I was saying, Joe, when you said you're basically was crowning every time I hear you talk about the division, you're like, well, it's us and then everybody else. I am not going to agree with that because we are the returning NFC East champions. We
but
have
you're
only
not who you
lost,
were.
hold up, but we have only lost one game, Joe. Doesn't that speak to the team? Let's keep it real. I already know how I feel about the management, okay? But we're not talking about the management. We're just talking about the team, okay? But doesn't that speak to the team if let's say Jalen Hurts would have went down week 1 and you had Minshew up in there, and then we had to see if you guys were still rolling, you would say we are a damn good team still because we lost our starting quarterback, our backup came in, and we're still rolling. So when you keep on saying we're the class, we lost one game. It looked bad. I can admit it did. But our defense didn't look bad in that game. Our running game didn't look in that game. It was bad play calling and Dak played bad. Let's just keep it real, okay? But Ezekiel Elliott averaged 5 yards a carry in that game. He had 10 carries for 50 yards. We went away from the run game. Get what I'm saying? We went away from that. So when you look at our team, how can you just say y'all the class of the division and we've only lost one game, bro, behind you?
You lost to the best team that you played, and you didn't even show up. The Bengals were obviously not
We
playing.
didn't show up.
We didn't even
They
show
didn't
up. You
score a
scored 3
touchdown.
points.
Right.
You scored
Our
3
offense
points.
didn't show up, but did they blow us out? Was that game close all the way?
19-3 feels like a blowout. 19-3. The way that game
see,
went,
that's
that
not
felt
right.
like a blowout.
See, that's not right because you double talking because you just said
How?
in that game against Washington against y'all, you said that score. If they just look back at the score and say, "Oh, that was a blowout," but that game was closer than it looked. When you looked at that Tampa Bay game, it was closer than it was because that defense kept us in the game. If we would have made some plays on the offensive thing, it would have been a different story, Joe, and you know that. We
You guys
banged
scored
against
3
them
points.
boys.
You scored 3 points in the first quarter and didn't score a point after that. I just don't feel like it was close.
I'm gonna get all right. I ain't giving it to you, but I ain't gonna go back and forth for you on this one. I'm not giving it to you, but let me get my next holler out. I mean,
Yes,
he said Fiegel's co-host, that's my dog, Joe, is just like their fan base every year. Trash talking is their Super Bowl while their team is amounts to nothing. By the way, money will be donated. Don't panic. Fiegel's are straight trash. 3-0 playing noodle. Stop the cap. I love damn entertainment. Hey ho.
Hey, I think that a lot of because I've talked to some people and I obviously trolled a lot of people last week when you guys won because it felt like a lot of your fan base, not you, I will say that, not you, not Tuck, not Rome. I will give y'all that, and not even Coles because I give Coles a lot of
we're normal
flack,
Cowboys
but he was
guys,
cool.
ain't we?
People were chilling, people were chilling, but a lot of your fan base was out there acting like that was y'all Super Bowl, like y'all answered some questions.
No,
and people,
that team was garbage.
One person said to me, which I loved it. I thought it was funny. I think it was Cole, actually. I think Cole's the one that said this. He was like, "Oh, keep that energy week 6." So it felt like y'all might think we're your Super Bowl. At the end of the day, we're the bar in the NFC East. I don't care.
You're not a bar.
We are.
Nope.
We're the team that you have to beat.
If
you
you're
want to be
not
the NFC East champs, you're gonna have to go through us this year.
I'm sorry, you're just talking overconfident now, bro. You know what? I'm gonna just let that alone because you're talking overconfident. We're the NFC East champs, not y'all. So you're hunting for us. You went in the offseason to overtop us. Do you understand that, Joe? And that's the truth. You win the offseason, got AJ Brown, you got Chauncey Gardner, you went and got James Bradbury for us. For us. We didn't go out there and get nobody. Let me finish. We didn't go out there and get nobody for y'all. That's a damn lie because everything y'all do is about us. When y'all get any players, it is too true. Anything y'all do is to beat us. It is too. Y'all get shirts. Your coach wears these damn t-shirts all the damn time, and he's having beat Dallas week. Blah, blah, blah. We never have beat Philly week. Never. Never, ever, 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 ever. Do we ever have beat Philly week? We don't have beat Washington week. We don't have beat none of y'all week. Ever. You guys do that to us. When you guys make big moves, it's to we won the East last year. Your GM said, no, we're going to not let that happen again, and we're going to do everything to stop you. You got weapons to beat us. If you,
That's not true at all.
yeah, it is.
Hey, the Eagles
It
got
is.
weapons to win another
We're always
Super
on
Bowl.
your mind.
That's what we did.
We're
No,
always on your
no, you
mind.
are not. Just because we won
Stop it.
just because we wore a shirt before the game does not mean that you guys are always on our mind.
You content creators don't talk about Dallas all the time, right?
I mean, I can't speak for everybody. But the same can be said about Cowboy side.
Do I?
You guys have literal whole
Do
content
I?
creators. All they do is
Do
talk
I?
about other people.
Do
No,
I?
do I? I don't talk about the Cowboys all the time.
You
So
not really, you don't. But
I'll give you that you have people that I can't speak
I
for
don't think
everybody.
you our rival. Keep it real. You ain't our rival to me.
I don't think this year you guys are either. I don't think you guys are that good this year. You guys, we saw what happened with Dak Prescott when he did play. He didn't do anything.
And we saw with Jalen Hurts when he played against Dallas in his 2 most important games, he didn't do nothing.
And we said those aren't his 2 most important games. First
Yeah,
of
it
all.
was.
I would look at the Tampa Bay.
What is he?
I would say that the Tampa Bay game was more important.
Answer that question.
The Cowboys aren't our bar.
Question.
Yeah,
it gotta be. Answer that
Cowboys
question.
aren't our bar. You guys haven't won anything in so long. We are the last team to win a Super Bowl in our division. We are the team you guys want to be. You guys,
2017. We're not trying to be the Eagles. We will never.
You
have
to want to be the Eagles. Why would you want to be a team that hasn't won anything in 26 years?
Why do you want to be y'all? What did y'all won?
A Super Bowl.
One time in 2017. What did y'all win before that? Tell me the last
who was the last team to do? Who was the last team to repeat? Who was the last team to repeat in the division?
Answer it.
Answer. What did we win before the Super Bowl?
Before you won that Super Bowl in 2017, what did you win before that?
The division?
No.
I mean, what did you win before that?
What
did you win before that? You want to go back 30 years?
I'm not going back to that. But what I'm saying
exactly.
Is
so what's
y'all going to the Super Bowl every damn year, and you're not.
I didn't say that. What I'm saying is we are putting together a team to go ahead and do that. We should be. We should be, and that might be our issue. That might be our issue.
No, that's not the issue.
Eagles,
because Jalen Hurts, Jalen Hurts, since he's been the starting quarterback against Dallas, what is his record against Dak Prescott?
Not that good, but you guys are our bar. We don't. We haven't beaten. I don't think he's beaten you guys. I don't think he's beaten you. I know he hasn't beaten Dak.
He hasn't beaten.
I know he's 0-3. Okay. Okay, but at the same time, right? Let's answer this question. When we make the playoffs, we usually do a little bit of something, even if it's only winning one game. You guys don't. Last year, that was one game. That was 1 year that we weren't even supposed to be a playoff team. There's no way that you look at
going in the damn fourth quarter. Y'all hadn't scored.
We got smacked.
Smacked.
What happened to y'all? Y'all were supposed to be a Super Bowl team and did nothing.
We were at least, you're right, but at least we were there until the very end. Y'all got smacked. That game was over in the damn halftime.
The only thing you guys got from being there till the very end was a little bit more tired. You came to the couch a little bit more tired than us. There's no way. There's no way that we should be. We should be.
You know why?
We should be. We do things in the playoffs. We don't just get kicked out.
Yeah, you do. You got kicked out last time. And then before that,
did y'all. When's the last time y'all made it out the first round?
You're right, but when's the last time y'all done something besides 2017?
The year after that, we won a playoff game.
Oh, so we getting excited because you won one damn playoff game?
When have you? Shit. That's what I'm asking. Though. When the last time the Cowboys have won a playoff game? Okay, and when's the last time the Eagles won a playoff game?
19?
I think so. Or 2018.
Okay, 1 year later? You act like
I'm saying though, so we won a Super Bowl, we won playoff games, we are consistent. We're a consistent competitor.
I knew the Eagles were going. No, you're not. You got that. You went to that Super Bowl, and then what did you go to? What did you do? What happened after that if you won the Super Bowl?
We won a playoff game.
Who's Doug Peterson?
We won a playoff game.
Where's Doug Peterson?
We've won more playoff games since our Super Bowl since yours, and it's been like 20-something years.
Here's what I want to ask you though. When you won that Super Bowl, you act like y'all was this dominating. What happened to your team right after that?
You're 100% right. I have no idea. Things fell off. But guess what? A year later, we're right back in the playoffs. A year later, we're right back in the playoffs.
Right, but you're not.
Should be our bar.
And I will definitely tell you. I'll definitely tell you. During this coaching period, we had Jason Garrett.
Get facts. I ain't gonna cap. Rome always comes in here. They're mad at me. Rome, we need to talk. We need to talk, man. We need to talk this out.
We had Jason Garrett for 10 years. He's a coach.
That's not our fault.
Well,
we had freaking Chip Kelly. We made the playoffs with Chip Kelly, but
you didn't have him 10 years.
No, we didn't because we're smart. We know what we're doing.
Who did
We
you
know
have?
what we're
You had
doing.
Andy Reid. Was Jason Garrett playing going
And he was
against Andy Reid?
amazing. He was
Huh?
amazing.
Okay,
but
Andy Reid is a damn good coach.
So is it our fault? Is it our
You're right,
issue that
but
we
don't sit
know
there
what
and
we're doing?
Right. We had a sorry coach, and we were still winning the East with a sorry ass coach. Still
So again,
whooping your
we
ass.
should be your bar. If
We
I was the
whooping
Dallas
your-
Cowboys,
we was winning
if
the
I was the
East.
Cowboys-
You weren't winning the East. We were.
when's the
We
last
was
time you guys?
kicking your ass.
When's the
We won
last
the
time
East
that you
last
guys
year.
have repeated? When's the last time
Okay,
you
but
guys
we
repeated
kicking
as
your
winners?
ass. When's the last time
But
you
just
beat
answer
us?
that question.
Answer
When's the
that
last time you
question.
guys have repeated as winners? When's the last time you can say for 2 years in a row that the Cowboys have been repeat NFC East division winners? Like you guys
Nobody
talk about
has
how you
in
guys
20
are.
years.
The
Nobody
Eagles
has.
have done it. The Eagles did it in 2004.
2004, Joe. It's 2022.
When's the last time the Eagles did it?
When's the last
I mean, the
time?
Cowboys did it.
Okay.
Excuse me. When's the last
Okay,
time
you're
the Cowboys
Been
did
a
it?
long time. Been a long time. Answer this one, Joe. Answer this one, Joe. When's the last time you beat us?
It's been 3 games.
How?
It's been 3 games.
Say it again.
Y'all acting like
We on
3.
the
Y'all
seventh
acting like
game.
3
Hold on.
games.
Okay.
My thing is, if we're not your, if we're
Joe.
not your bar,
Joe.
why do y'all care so
Oh,
much about this streak y'all
I'm
have
not-
on
I'm
us if
I'm
it's not doing
caring about
anything
you
else for
because
y'all?
always be running your mouths like you be whooping our ass. We got a 3-game winning streak on you, and also we have a 7-game win streak in the NFC East right now. Talk to me about that. We got
At the
a
end of the
7-game
day-
win streak in the NFC East right now. Talk to me
That's
about
cool.
that.
That's cool. At
So
the end of the
why
day,
are
we
you
have
our
a
bar?
3-game winning streak
How
right
are
now
we-
in this season.
How are
We have
how
a-
are you? No, answer that. How are we your bar when we got a 7-game win streak in the NFC East? Period. And we the champs,
Okay.
not y'all.
My answer to that would be: do you want to win a Super Bowl in the next 26 years? I think then you
Yeah, I
should probably
do. And I already
follow
told
what
you
the
about the
Eagles are
management.
doing.
We talking about one-on-one, mano-a-mano. We've been kicking your ass.
Yeah, because we weren't who we are now. Like, let's
Oh,
look at
now
who we
you
are
different.
now.
Show us.
Let's look
Show
at.
us.
Yes, we are
Show
definitely
us.
different.
You gotta
We are
show us, 'cause
definitely
right
different.
now
I
you-
can't wait
you
to the
hunt for
16th.
us. We not
I
hunting
can't
for
wait
you.
till the 16th.
We the champs.
I don't even want to
You
watch this
hunt
game
for
today,
us.
James.
You hunt for us.
You
I'm
gotta
waiting
be
for this game too, because you hunt for us. We ain't hunt for you. We done whooped your ass 3 straight times.
Hey,
3 straight
bruh.
times we done whooped your
Where
ass.
has that gotten you? Where has that gotten you?
I ain't talking
Nowhere.
about what it's gotten you. We talking
That's
about
all
the
that
one-on-one
matters, though.
matchup.
That's what should matter.
Why not? We talking about one-on-one matchup. See, you want to go to Super Bowls, all this stuff. I'm talking one-on-one. We kick your
Yeah.
ass.
I want to go to Super Bowls. Yeah, I definitely.
So
All right,
what?
shout out to
You
Drew.
wanna
Hold
beat
on.
us?
We're
You don't.
hold
we
on. We're
don't
getting
go through
behind in
y'all.
these super chats.
Okay.
We're getting behind
we
in
don't
these
give,
super chats
okay,
real quick.
get them super chats because we don't go through you.
Shout out to my guy Drew at $5 super chat. He said the Eagles are the last team to win a Super Bowl, and most of you Cowter fans haven't experienced an NFC Championship, so you're trying to catch us again. The bar.
Oh, okay.
Again, shout out to Drew for the $2 super chat. But Dak is 1-3 in the playoffs in 7 years. Again, the bar. And then you got your boy B Wee. That's a funny
Hey,
name.
he
I like
said
that
I'm going Kanye again.
name. We never do this, so I'm cool with it. I don't care. We
had to get this one out, y'all. We
Yeah,
usually be
we've been
civilized,
holding off.
but Joe be running his mouth a little bit too much today, and I got to let him know what it really is talking about. Philadelphia Eagles is the bar. Hell no, they're not.
We the
you
bar,
better keep
bro.
it real. No, you're not. You ain't
We're
no
the
bar
bar.
to us. You ain't no bar.
Hey. Eric Max asked if I'm putting 20K up on the game like Meek Mill. If I had 20K to put up on this game, bro, I would.
I would too.
We gonna do something.
Money, if I had big money on this, I still put money when we gonna be down in Florida together. So we gonna be side by side in this damn game.
Yep.
We could put some money on it, Joe. Ain't nobody scared. We'll put $20
we gonna do
on
something.
it. Do something.
We gonna do something.
Drink
It might have to
something.
be a little
Ain't nobody
embarrassing.
scared no damn Eagles.
I'm gonna have a jersey ready for you. I'm gonna have a jersey ready for you.
No, I'm
so
gonna
you
have a
can-
jersey ready for you
we
because
can do
nobody's
that
scared no damn
post-game.
Eagles. And I can't wait. Let me tell you something. If Dak don't come back that game, let me tell you something right now, Joe. Let me tell you something, and all you Eagles fans right now. If Dak don't come back, and if that fool Cooper Rush beat y'all fools in Philly, I'm gonna tear you Eagles fans up. I'm gonna tear y'all up. I'm gonna
Rightfully
light y'all
so.
up. I'm gonna just let y'all
Rightfully
know.
so.
Don't come in this feed. If Dak Prescott does not play and Cooper Rush plays in this game and beat y'all in Philly, don't come in this feed. I'm gonna
Rightfully
light
so.
yo asses up.
Rightfully so. I'll
I'm
give you
gonna leave
that.
it at
It ain't gonna happen though. Again, the bar.
Okay.
But you got two super chats from B Wee and then one from Stargazer. So you want
And
to
we
read
got to
those
get out
out.
of here because I got to do my own. I know you got to
Yeah,
do
we
yours.
we
So
got the games. Yeah.
he said $5 holler, my dog. I got all excited. Joe brought it out of me today, talking that trash. I was being cool. That was him saying it. Okay. So anyway, he says, I get sad thinking the last time I seen Hurts play against them Cowboys. I hate seeing my OU quarterbacks getting owned in the league. Yeah, because he been choking. What did Reggie Miller do? What did Reggie Miller do?
Yeah, it was a. I'll take that because I hate the Knicks, so I'll take that reference. I like that one. Yeah, to Spike Lee, I love it.
Yeah,
He
he
got
said, this is
another
why I
one
love
from
BGJ.
Stargazer.
He goes hard for the nation. Joe, y'all think y'all run more today because of the weather? That's a good question.
Yeah, we should. We definitely should. That is a good question. We definitely should run it way more this game. I am a little bit nervous though. I know we are. I think we're number 7th in the league as far as running yards per game. A lot of that comes from Jalen Hurts, but last game against Washington, like I said, they were able to really shut down our running game. So I am a little bit interested to see how that goes because we definitely our running game is very important. And like you said, in today's weather, it's going to be very important that we kind of start that running game off early and kind of just keep on running it down their throat. So I definitely think, to answer your question, that we should and probably will run the ball a lot, especially early on. But James, this was a fun one. I can't wait.
This was a great one. I love you. Got me all sweating over here. I'm all excited. You got me going crazy over here. He got me my blood pressure born over here, y'all. Joe got my blood pressure born. Speaking of words like
pop
he
an
did back.
Advil, chill for a
Yeah,
little
no,
while.
I'm at the chill. You got me. I'm at the, you know what I'm saying? I'm at the 024 up in this piece. Y'all done got me going crazy. Y'all done got me going crazy talking that madness up in here, man.
But I'm excited for this game, not just obviously because it's going to be fun, but man, now knowing, realizing, I'm glad that you brought it up. You're going to be out here. We're going to definitely do something. So as soon as I get, probably after the game, I'm going to call up this local bar that I'm supposed to be doing some stuff anyways. Okay, Rome, I am not ignoring you. I said what up.
What up? I love Rome. Right? Rome
That's my dog.
Hey,
yeah,
Rome
I love
funny
Rome.
As hell. That's my dog. I love Rome. That is funny as hell. You said George?
He's something else. He's something
Rome
else.
Is funny as hell. Go ahead and get your $10 chat. Is that your holler? Get your holler right quick before we get out.
Will Port City play.
Shout out to you, T. Will. He said I was crazy. Shout out to you, T. Will.
Shout out to you, bro, for the $10 super chat, man. He says Eagles win in the East and making mad noise in the playoffs.
We'll
again.
See. Yawn.
The bar. That's what we should change this name to.
No, don't name
no
none
longer the best enemies. We are now the bar.
Crazy. Yeah, the bar is right here. Okay, the bar is right here because we the champs until otherwise.
So we got 12 minutes till the game start. I know you're doing a play-by-play, right?
I got.
So all right, so awesome. Yep. I'm gonna go check that out. You know, I'm gonna be talking that junk. Don't ignore me like I did to Rome, please. But no, we appreciate everybody that tuned in, man. You got anything you want to say to these beautiful people before we get out of here, brother?
No, just shout out to all the chat, man. Shout out to all the fans. Shout out to everybody up in the building on both sides. Make sure you give it a like, a follow, all that good stuff, man. This was an exciting show. Great show today. I had a really good time, man. This was a fire show. I'm probably watch this show myself because Joe got me pumped up today. So Joe got me pumped up. So I feel like we could probably get a big win because Joe got me pumped up. But just continue to support Best of Enemies, man. I love what we're doing. We're getting ready. Hey, our game is right around the corner. That's going to be explosive. So make sure you get ready for that. And like I said, just keep supporting us. Go support my dog Joe and everything he's doing. He's got his other thing that he's got going on with his professional shows with Michael Vick. Things are just blowing up for him. Please support, and do make my guy blow up because he's doing a lot of big things in this community, man. I've seen that picture where you had the picture where you had you with Bateman or somebody with a guy, and then you said, who would have thought I'd been interviewing him? I feel the same way when I watched Darren Woodson for all those years on the Dallas Cowboys. So I finally got to interview him. It was like, damn, that felt like I made it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to you, big dog. Keep grinding, keep doing your thing. I love you for life. And that's pretty much it for me. Go Cowboys and Jags, beat them damn Eagles so they can shut the hell up.
Yeah, go Washington. I honestly, I just hope y'all tie. I don't even want anybody to win. But no, we do appreciate everybody that tuned in. Y'all already know what it is, man. Oh, and shameless plug before I do get out of here. Definitely go check me out, man. I have a 3-hour live radio show every Saturday, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern. It's about New York sports mainly, but we do talk about everything. So you can call in. It's at thecallsports.com. Definitely go check that out. But we do love you guys and we do appreciate it. And James, you know, you're my brother from another. But that is James, and I am Joe, and we are the best of enemies. Peace.
We're brothers. We're happy and we're singing and we're colored.